I am coming to you today, and I want to talk to a about a area that may or may not make some people uncomfortable. Uh, and for whatever reason, I've had in the last I don't know, week or so, several people call me and ultimately become clients because of uh, this issue. And this issue is an issue of abuse and trauma. Now, when I say abuse, it could be physical, emotional, sexual, uh, or anything else that somebody believes is in fact abuse. Trauma being again physical, again emotional, sexual, same thing, but yet they can be different. But I've included both of those things in this talk today. And it's very unfortunate that when I when I speak to people that come to me for help concerning abuse and trauma, and it just hurts my heart that people have had to go through that stuff, usually as children, uh, unfortunately as children, because they carry the scars and the feelings and the shame, the anger, the unforgiveness. They look at themselves as, in a lot of ways, and a lot of times, that they caused it. It was their fault. So they can justify it. And the perpetrators of this abuse and trauma, many times, most of the time, in fact, are people that are close to them, friends, family, uh, siblings, grandparents, cousins, stepfathers, mothers. And I'm not quite sure that when people come to me and I have to process this myself and try to understand how I can help these people through the amazing tool of hypnosis. And I'll be honest with you, every time that I help a person get past these types of issues, and they look at me and they say, "You're the only one that's been able to help us." And that is very humbling in so many ways. And for whatever reason, God has given me the ability, or the wherewithal, excuse me, or the wherewithal to be able to help people through this stuff and to give their life back to them. Uh, and people have lived with this for years unnecessarily. They've gone to traditional talk therapy, they've gone to counseling, they've gone to their pastors, they've gone to anybody and everyone that they thought they could get help from. And some people don't get help. Some people suffer in their own little world within the walls and the rooms that they built up in order to get through each day. And that's just criminal. It's heart wrenching. But when a person comes to me and they explain to me what they're going through, I have to stop them. And the reason I stop them is that they don't have to tell me everything. They don't have to tell me all the details in that. Now, sometimes they do, simply because they have to get this out. They want to get it out. Um, but it's not necessary that I know all of these details in order to effectively help them. Okay. Uh, but they do, and they tell me, and I have to, in some ways, carry that burden as well until I can release it. Uh, but with hypnosis and trauma and abuse, these things can absolutely be eliminated out of a person's life in very short order, in a very short period of time. And when I say a very short period of time, I'm talking 5, 6, 7, 8 sessions. Let's say 8, 9 sessions. Let's go out and let's just say 10 sessions. I've yet to do 10 sessions with anybody for this, but let's just say 10 sessions. And we can go through that process over the period of a month, month and a half. And usually within the first week and a half, the majority of what's going to be released has been released, and it becomes a non-issue. And the rest of the time is simply reinforcement to create that barrier from all of that vile stuff ever raising its head again in a person's life. So hypnosis has that ability. It can change the subconscious. It can reformat itself. And it can release these things. It's that powerful. And, you know, I tell people that hypnosis is, in my opinion, and I will argue with anybody, I don't care their position, their level of education. I will argue with anybody that hypnosis is the single greatest tool that is not being used in a person's life. It doesn't require drugs. It doesn't require long-term therapy or counseling or whatever word that you want to use. The hypnosis part of it can take care of so much of that within the subconscious mind. And the amazing thing is that once hypnosis occurs and a person experiences hypnosis, it does so much more within the subconscious mind. It causes that ripple effect. It causes things to identify themselves that may need to be looked at, that may need to be addressed, that has nothing to do with the presenting issue. But the subconscious mind, as well as the body, will let me know that. And I'm able to lead a person down a road, and they happily go because they feel the effects, they feel the strength, they feel the person emerging from themselves, of changing that God meant them to be. Okay, God did not mean for a person to go through this crap and stay there. I don't know why there's evil in the world. I don't really spend a lot of time on that question. I just know that it exists. And I know that there are things that can be done to eliminate that evil. And I try my best to separate out the spiritual aspect of a person's being and what they're going through. But so many times it comes down to one and the same. And when I say spiritual belief, the spiritual being, I'm not talking about religion. I'm not talking about being a Catholic or a Baptist or a Protestant or Seventh-day Adventist. I'm not talking about that. That's the man-made umbrella, the man-made stuff that comes along with, you know, trying to get close to God. And I'm not disparaging that at all. But your spiritual connection to God, your spiritual connection to Christ, your connection to your guardian angel, does not require you to be a certain type of religion. And I think that if you understand that, then at that point there, the religion aspect of it can be put in perspective, and it can be of value to you. It can be absolutely something that you can turn to, the people within your church or your group. But so many times when we try to turn to people, they may or may not understand the gravity of what you're going through, and the being able to separate out the judgment and all these other things that comes along with this type of shame. And what I try to do is eliminate that for people. And I have been granted that ability for whatever reason. Because if anybody knows my story, this is not where anybody would have thought that I ended up, which I probably should have been here from the beginning. And I've said that many times. So anyway, if you're watching this video, and I'll close with this, I want you to understand that if you've gone through and experienced abuse and trauma at the hands of a person or persons over a period of time, and going back to when you were a child, that it's not your fault. It's something that you can get through. If you want to get through it, you have to want to get through it. Don't allow yourself to be defined by what you've experienced and what you've had to go through. They say that courage, for a person to be courageous, only takes a few seconds. You only need 5 seconds of courage to accomplish something life-changing. So I would say to you, whoever's watching this video, that have 5 seconds of courage. Reach out. Reach out to, whether it's to me or to anyone else that you think that can get you through that and past this, because you can. You can get through this. You can put it behind you. You do not have to let it haunt you anymore. Just five seconds of courage. And most of that courage is just picking up the phone or sending that email. If I can be of service to anyone out there that has experienced this, please, without hesitation, reach out to me. I'll be happy to talk to you. All right? God bless. Bye.